Hello, everyone. This is another episode of the Happy Doc, and I am super excited about this episode. I did something a little bit different on this one, so I want to make sure that everyone is aware of what I did. So I actually wrote out a blog post prior to recording this. And if you want to see the blog post, it's titled Doing What is Important and Areas of Consideration. So if you go to thehappydoc.com, you can see this blog post and episode. And I decided to do this because I think writing is such a great way to clarify thinking and get really in depth. Oftentimes I'm talking about an idea in this podcast, and it really helped me to flesh out a lot of the sort of concepts that were going into my mind about this. So this episode is all about doing what is important. And doing what is important is obviously such a kind of broad or general topic. So I'm going to try to get into the nitty-gritty of figuring out what's important and how to do tasks well, how to get things done efficiently, how to just really kill it when it comes to performing and getting results. And to start off, I guess I have to say, why are we doing important things? What does important even mean? So for each of us, placing what's important or doing things that are important will be different for us based on our values, our background, our upbringing, the things we enjoy, the things we don't enjoy. So doing what is important looks different for each individual. But at the end of the day, doing what is important is ultimately about being results driven, getting what you want done so that you can have a happier and more fulfilled life. So that sounds pretty good, right? So I start off on the article discussing a couple of methods you might want to consider when it comes to getting important things done. So number one is just getting it out of the way. If you have certain things that are frustrating or difficult, or, it takes a lot of willpower to complete a task, you could push it off, you could avoid it. But I'm a big fan of taking the, couple things that are just the most frustrating or annoying and just getting it done. Just getting it out of the way, and then the rest of your day is just easier. That is definitely a method or a way to complete tasks, especially the ones that are most important. The second method is called the snowball method. The snowball method is, instead of getting what's most important done or the things that are most frustrating but need to get done over with, we use the snowball method. You find tasks that you would rather get done first, things that are a little bit easier, things that require less motivation, and you let that snowball into you being able to start to tackle the harder things. The reason I don't like the snowball method as much is because it is a great avoidance strategy. So you do other things, right? Like, for example, let's say a kid needs to do homework, but instead of doing homework, I used to do this a lot. Instead of doing homework, I would clean my room. Well, cleaning my room was a way to avoid the pain of doing the homework that I needed to get done. And many people do this. So we kind of are procrastinating in a productive manner, but it's not towards the thing we actually need to get done. So those are a couple of methods. The other thing I discuss in this article, and I think it's just so important, is figuring out what is actually important. And I put this into 4 categories. Category number 1, in terms of the importance, and you guys might be aware of this, is getting something done that is from your past. I labeled it as past, as debt, something that you should have gotten done before but haven't. This goes into the category of being urgent, but possibly because it hasn't been finished yet, maybe it's important or maybe it's unimportant, but it is time sensitive. So it's definitely urgent and you need to get it done. So that's in the past, and it actually causes a sense of debt or a feeling of weighing down on you. The category number 2 is what is in the present. What has to be done today for maintenance? What things consistently need to be done today? It might not necessarily be important, but it's definitely urgent in that it needs to be performed on a daily basis. So these are just things that are continuously happening, or things that you have to get done with work or what have you, things that come up, but it just falls into this category. Category number 3, which is an area that I feel like most people don't hit, but is important to work on over time and develop good habits, is tasks that I can get done which will make my life easier or improve the quality of my life. These are tasks that are important, but are less urgent. And the reason why tasks in this area or category are not finished on a normal basis is because we don't feel the weight, we don't feel the urgency. So even though something is important, we put it off to the side. We don't get it done. We don't go to the gym. We don't do meal prep. We don't plan out like actions for the future. We don't think about a financial plan. We don't think about the future, all of these things, because you don't feel the urgency of it. And so we are very good as people in general to get things done that are in the past as debt because we're feeling the weight of that, or the present, but we're not working on tasks that will make our lives easier or improve the quality of our life in the future. So that's number 3. Number 4 is a category which is, I kind of put it into what I call almost the operating system, or the how or the upgrades that we can get in life to improve our ability to accomplish tasks in number 1, 2, and 3. So this category is tasks I can complete, which will make tasks in category number 1 and 2 obsolete and increase time in category number 3. So these are things we can do that we are definitely perceived as the least urgent and least important, and we're likely not even aware of this. Again, I call this sort of the operating system upgrades. Now, the article that I wrote on thehappydoc.com that you can reference is going to go through different ideas and concepts of ways to upgrade the operating system. It's things we can do or consider that if we were to be more methodical implementing these different things, we would be more effective long term. So some of these ideas include brainstorming effectively, prioritization, blocking time, reducing distractions, full immersion, performing serial and parallel tasks, automation, delegation, elimination, and there's many more concepts on here. It's not an exhaustive list, but it is a list that if you go through it and you really reflection is actually one of the things on here. If you really reflect, you might realize that you could be a little bit more effective. Why do we want to be more effective? We want to be more effective so we can do things that we want to do, reduce the things we would want to do less of, have more time to focus our energy on things that we would like to do, more altruistic activities, doing things that are fun, spending time with the family, going on more vacation, whatever it is for you, whatever is going to motivate you to kind of get out and be more effective. These are going to be methods or operating system hacks, so to speak, that if you implement some of this stuff, even a couple of these things, it will go a long way to allowing you to be more effective and tackling what is most important. So I'll go through one of them, and this one is something that I talk about often, but it's very important that we establish a strong purpose. If you do not have an idea or a strong purpose to completing tasks, you will not have the fuel and motivation needed to get organized. If we cannot find meaning in our work, and if we don't have that meaning, we're not going to want to have more production. And if we don't have a deep desire to produce more, then what we produce doesn't matter. Underlying all efficiency for every human being requires a deep why. Maybe it's for family, maybe it's for working, but whatever the reason, you need to have the rocket fuel for your production. The stronger the purpose, the easier it is to stay motivated. That's a little reflection or operating system tweak or hack that we can use on ourselves, noticing and realizing where is our deep sense of purpose. Is there a story in there? Is there a difficult moment in there? Is there a challenge? Is there someone you want to be more like? What is it going to take for you to do what's more important? There's so much more on this article. I'll probably at some points reference this article. Again, I took some time to really write it. So if you want to look at it more, go to thehappydoc.com, and it's thehappydoc.com/doing the important. So thehappydoc.com/doing the important, or you can go to thehappydoc.com and check out doing what is important and areas of consideration. I hope you enjoyed that episode for today. I'll be doing more writing. I think it, again, helps clarify my thought. If you guys don't like me referencing these articles, if you don't enjoy this content, please let me know. By all means, no harm, no foul. Email thehappydoc1@gmail.com. And please let me know if you enjoyed the episode. Please leave a 5-star review on iTunes. It's one of the best ways to support us. And I will see you on the next episode of The Happy Doc.